welcome. And when I am finished, and there are two other items besides me, someone will thank you for coming, so I will preempt that person by saying thank you for being here. Every year, we celebrate this period that is called National Heroes and Heritage Month. And a lot of emphasis during the course of that month of celebration is placed on the Garifuna heritage and the Garifuna culture. My organization, the Garifuna Heritage Foundation, is dedicated to reclaiming, reviving, and in whatever way we can, to taking back or recapturing the culture of the Garifuna that we have lost. And we have lost in St. Vincent a lot. All of the history about the Garifuna that you're seeing being exhibited on these walls, you'll have to read a lot of them to get the gist of what is happening. But all of that history, very little of it exists in St. Vincent. But all of that, St. Vincent is the birthplace of everything you are seeing there. We have lost it. Another culture has dominated our existence over 220 years. And we as Vincentians are a people that run away from our culture, from embracing those things that are ours. This exhibition is organized to help to show you, particularly as young students, that there is a lot about the history of St. Vincent. There is a lot in the culture of St. Vincent that you could be proud of. And those things are contained in the Garifuna history, in the heritage of the Garifuna. I don't know how many of you in this room have parents, or perhaps you yourself, or maybe you have parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, great-uncles, whatever, who are, let me just say, from Sandy Bay. Anybody with a mother, father, grandparent? Okay, Sandy Bay is one of the areas in St. Vincent where the Garifuna people live. Your history, I believe, as you were taught it, this country had two kinds of Caribs. In the words of the English people who wrote our history books for us, there were yellow Caribs and there were black Caribs. Garifuna is a combination of the yellow and the black. But when Garifuna people were exiled from St. Vincent, can I just correct myself there a little? I said the yellow and the black Caribs. I'm sorry, it was the yellow Caribs and the Africans. And that combination produced what we called the black Caribs. Garifuna are those persons who were black Caribs. They said an absolute no to anyone from outside coming and taking over St. Vincent, or Urume as they called it back then. They were absolutely against that, and that is how Chief Joseph Chatelier died. He died standing up to persons who wanted to come in from outside and take over this land. And after he died, all of his followers who were primarily black Caribs were taken and banished off of St. Vincent, first to Baliso, and I believe you would hear a lot about Baliso on radio programs, on TV programs, perhaps in your classrooms from time to time. But when it became overbearing on Baliso, they were removed from Baliso and taken to another small island in the South American area called Roatan. And from there, they moved over to Honduras and Belize and Guatemala and Nicaragua. And today, 200 years later, hundreds of thousands of them have survived and live primarily in North America. The culture continues to live. What we have lost here in St. Vincent over the 200 years since Black Caribs were banished from St. Vincent, they have maintained it over those 200 years. And today, we hear the music you was hearing there on the PA system. That music is Garifuna music. The dances, all of the dances you were seeing on the pictures, and the drumming, there are 2 drums on the ground there, and pictures of drummers, all of that is what these people left St. Vincent with and have preserved it. And today, you hear about punta and all the other kinds, paranda and all the other kinds of Garifuna music and dances, and a lot of history. The language that they spoke here in St. Vincent before they were banished, they still speak it. So there is a lot to be proud of as far as Garifuna is concerned. And in case you are wondering how I have moved from Black Caribs to Garifuna, well, that was part of their survival. Those persons who left here being called Black Caribs are the same persons we today know as Garifuna. They had to go through certain changes in order to survive the kind of persecution and other kinds of ills that were being committed against them in a foreign land. They were in a foreign land. They have survived in exile for 220 years. I think if that is not a source of inspiration, then I think you need to look for the roots of that story and be inspired going into your future. I hope you will be able to take the contents of this exhibition. It's largely about the history, where they started and where they have ended. And I hope that you gather some kind of inspiration from viewing the exhibits here, from reading the information, and that it makes your Heritage Month a little bit more rich and satisfying. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. And usually this is a month where you are asked to do research, to learn about your heritage. This is a great opportunity for you to gather information. And you will see that we have different sections in the exhibition. You're having a section covering the history. You're having one with books from the National Archives. You're having spirituality, religion, and dance on this side. And we're having the Garifuna lifestyle with clothing and food on this side here. We will also have a projection of documentaries going on during the day and of different other images as well. I would like to invite one of our visitors today. We're having a representative from the Maroon community of Trinidad, and she will introduce herself better and share some words with you. So please welcome her.
Pleasant good morning, boys and girls. Again, pleasant good morning, teachers. Pleasant good morning to all the historians and the keepers of tradition. My name is Akila Taliba Jaramugi, and I am from the American Maroons of Trinidad. I am here as a friend of the Garifuna people, the community, and those who are keeping the culture alive. I appreciate talking to you folks because I know you are the future of the world. You will be the decision makers in years to come. And therefore, this is very, very important for you to appreciate who you are and from whence you came. For you to truly understand your history and celebrate the greatness of our ancestors, the ones who fought hard to keep history alive today. I am from South Trinidad, and my legacy started from Africa, West Africa, Sierra Leone, Senegal, Congo, Ivory Coast. Then we were enslaved on plantations in America, Georgia, New Orleans, South Carolina, Virginia. And there was a war in 1812 in the US. We ran away from plantations, hid in the swamps and on the shore and the coastal areas. And the British came in to fight the Americans, and we joined on the side of the British. Our ancestors fought on the side of the British, and after the war, the British decided to help us to get away from America, and we were sent to Halifax in Canada, and some of us went back to Sierra Leone, and then to Jamaica, and some came to Trinidad. So I am part of that history of my ancestors, and therefore I am American Maroon. What I am doing here is not just sharing the story of the Maroons, but also we are mobilizing and uniting all the Maroons of the Caribbean, from Jamaica, Suriname, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, and Honduras, and Belize. We even go to Latin America and so on. And we are going to the United Nations Indigenous Peoples Conference in April, on the 22nd of April, and stand up for your folks. Stand up for our people. Stand up for your great-grandmothers and fathers who fought hard to have us here today, to declare Indigenous people status for all the Maroons of the diaspora. So we can be proud of our ancestors. We can have more museums and libraries and wellness centers and so on. So you all can be part of this in years to come. I want to say thanks for being part of the history of St. Vincent. And I know you all will make the Caribbean proud, your people proud, by passing on the traditions, okay? Yes? You promise? Yes. So our elders are doing their part, we are doing our part to teach you all. So you now have to embrace the tradition. You all have to seek more, study history, study anthropology, study the history of our people, and then be the leaders of tomorrow, defending our culture. Ashe?
Thank you very much for these wise words, and I hope that you understood that it is all up to you to take over tomorrow, and for that you need to be well aware, well informed for that journey. So you're having information here, but it's up to you as well to research, and you see how gathering information, how artifacts can actually also teach you on history. I would like now to invite you to just not move, but turn around. We've been telling you about that Garifuna culture. Well, we will make you now experience and enjoy it with some dance.